Hi guys. Most men chase the idea of being high value. They spend years trying to figure it out. They buy courses, they copy lines from other men, they try to build their life around money, cars, and status. But the truth is, none of those things guarantee attraction. Because real women don't obsess over a man for what he owns, they obsess over how he moves. And here's the one thing that most men overlook: decisiveness. It's not about being controlling. It's not about barking orders or anything like that. It's about showing through your actions that you know what you want and you're not afraid to make a first move. That single trait is more powerful than looks, more magnetic than status, and more unforgettable than any kind of charm ever will be. And most men don't realize they already have this ability. They've just been trained since childhood to silence it. And if you're ready to see how this one trait changes everything, grab my book, Attraction Secrets. It'll lay it all out for you. The link is in the description. Now let's break it down. Women are biologically wired to test. That doesn't necessarily make them manipulative, but it does make them human. Psychologist John Bowlby, known for his attachment theory, showed how childhood shapes the way people connect and trust. Women who grew up with inconsistency, whether it was a father who left or a mother who was unpredictable, learned very early on to push to see if someone would stay steady or fold. Because to her, it meant survival. So when she pushes you, when she asks, "Where do you want to go?" or "Are you sure about that?" what she's really asking is this: can you hold the frame, or do I own it now? Decisiveness not only tells her that you can own it, but it tells her that you do own it. And here's the difference a lot of guys fail to see. Because a lot of guys mix up decisiveness with control. Control says, do it my way or else. Decisiveness says, this is where I'm going and you're welcome to join me. One suffocates her and the other frees her. That's why decisiveness never comes across as needy or insecure. Control is driven by insecurity. Decisiveness is driven by certainty. Think about it for a second. Look at the most common trait of men who end up friend-zoned. They're not always ugly, they're not always broke, but they are indecisive. They linger, they ask her what she wants, they hold back. Every single action screams, you decide, you lead, and I'll follow. And the moment she senses that, you've killed attraction before it even had the chance to grow. Because attraction is not built on comfort, it's built on tension. And tension only exists when one person is bold enough to step forward without waiting for permission. Let me give you some real world examples. Let's say you're out at a bar with a woman. The indecisive guy says, "So, what do you want to drink?" and stands there waiting. She might smile and she might even answer, but in her head, she's already filing him under the guy who waits for cues, the guy who doesn't take the lead, the guy who's timid and nervous. Now look at the decisive man. He listens to what she likes, signals the bartender, and says, "We'll start with this." Done, no hesitation. She didn't feel controlled, she felt led. Let's look at another example. Texting. The indecisive guy says, "So what do you want to do Friday?" She sighs, scrolls through her phone, maybe replies hours later. The decisive guy says, "Friday, 8 p.m. at this spot. Wear something red, you'll see why." She doesn't roll her eyes because she's intrigued. And here's the part a lot of guys don't understand. By being decisive, you actually give her freedom. So she can say yes, she can say no, but what she doesn't have to do is carry the burden of leading. And that's where attraction builds. This runs so deep, way deeper than just dating. People who grew up in chaos subconsciously look for someone who provides grounded structure. That's exactly why women push to see if you'll fold. She doesn't do it necessarily because she just enjoys drama for no reason. She does it because she has an innate need. Find the man who stays ready when everything else shakes. When you're decisive, you show her nervous system something very rare: safety through strength. That's why she feels safe around you, even when you haven't touched her yet. And here's the kicker. Decisiveness is not loud. It's not about speeches, and flexing don't win the game here. It's all in the micro signals. The way you pause before answering, the way you look at her when she challenges you, the way your tone stays calm when she tries to shake you. If your eyes dart away, if your voice drops, if your body shifts backwards, she doesn't need the words. She already knows you folded. But if your body stays grounded, your look stays steady, your voice carries certainty, those signals tell her she's with a man who won't break easily. And that's why women remember decisive men for years. Not for the big moments, for the certainty they showed in the small ones. Listen carefully, because this flips everything most men believe. The opposite of decisiveness isn't control, it's weakness. Control is insecurity disguised as power. Weakness is indecision disguised as politeness. Decisiveness is the middle ground where power and freedom meet. That's why women crave it more than looks, because looks fade and status shifts. But a man who moves with certainty, that codes as timeless. Every test she gives you is an invitation, not to argue, not to explain, but to show her how stable you are. When she says, "Are you sure?" most men hear criticism. The decisive man hears opportunity because he knows she's not asking for his answer. She's asking for his steadiness. That's why in a situation like this, the decisive man won't flinch. He'll hold eye contact. He'll keep his tone steady and calm. He'll answer without hesitation. And that one moment shifts everything for her. She feels something she doesn't feel with weak men. Relief. Because she finally met someone who can carry the weight. Here's the bottom line. If you do nothing else, master decisiveness. Not aggression, not control, decisiveness. That's the one trait that flips her attraction on, calms her anxiety, and codes you as a high-quality man without a single word ever being spoken. And if you're ready to master this, to stop second-guessing and start leading with certainty, grab my book, Attraction Secrets. It breaks down everything I've said here into clear steps you can live by, so decisiveness becomes second nature for you. The link is in the description. So with that being said, until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye!